I knew some people would be stressed and upset and in pain and frustrated and so on. It's a Virgin Galactic special. I've just invited Andy Shovel onto the show. Hopefully he'll be joining me later. But right now we have one of our biggest investors, our perma bulls, our most committed, dedicated space fans and lovers of Virgin Galactic. He's here with me live on the show. Of course, we want to hear from our dear friend. Everyone give a lovely warm welcome to Zach Zate. Good morning, Zach. How are you, mate?
Happy Friday. Thank you, Martyn. I'm very well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Always lovely to have you here, and I always have a moral dilemma and an issue. Every time I turn this camera on, we talk to the world, 59 countries now, 14 languages, people investing in the stocks, real pain. This is not, even though this is entertainment and this is a community to support each other, it's real money, real lives, real people, and I'm aware of that. And when I report on the news I reported on last night that I thought Virgin Galactic could now go to 50 cents, before I published that video, I knew some people would be stressed and upset and in pain and frustrated and so on. I try to make the videos as accurate and factual, but yes, it is emotional and it's entertaining and it's done in a way to engage the audience. But I'm also concerned at how it impacts people. Zach Zate talked to me this morning. I am really so frustrated at Virgin Galactic. As you know, and I know, we love the product, but announcing a reverse split 2 months, or a potential vote for a reverse split 2 months ahead when it's only been under $1 for a few days, was that appropriate? Was that necessary? Someone has just mentioned to me this morning that Michael Cole-Glazier a few weeks ago was transferring shares to his sons. I've got no verification of that. I like the mug, by the way. Got no Is it got a nice bit of weight to it because it's metal? Is it nice?
Yeah, it
nice.
Keep it warm also.
Good. It's like a little flask, isn't it? I'm gonna have to get one. I don't own one. I have to buy one. I might get a discount. I know the man who made them. I might call him up so I get a discount. But maybe I won't. Anyway, so evidence to say that he's been transferring shares to his son. I don't know what that means, but we're going to look into that. Zach Zate, talk to me. How are you feeling today? Are you happy? And what's your thoughts on Virgin Galactic today?
Martyn, nobody can be happy when you see the share price this morning. Nobody can be happy after yesterday. It's a sad day, but it's a news day. Once a company keep you up and keep you informed what's going on, it shows that they care. I think every CEO goes to sleep and wake up looking at his shares and the price, and he want to do better. But there is not much happening in the last half a year, if we're looking since the last flight. So money is definitely an issue. And this week I heard that, just like you mentioned this morning, we're going to keep the 5.5% rate probably till the end of this year. There won't be, I believe, and I'm involved with some people that, just like you mentioned this morning, I was amazed to see how knowledgeable, again, you are with all the information you bring, to know that all those small company or SPACs that came 3, 4, 5 years ago, 90%, maybe more, will fail. SPAC is experience. Now, when you look at the stock market, yes, if you like soccer or not, there is the Champions League. Now, this week was very exciting with big games. But the Champions League is the S&P. Those are the 500. If you're a champion or the 4 top teams in some bigger state or country stories that have good soccer, you'll be in the Champions League. Now, the S&P will kick you in as they will kick you out. Why? Because Tesla now 11%. You mentioned this morning also, they might going to kick you out. No, because I think the progress of the company, the product of the companies keep showing and growing. So those are a growth company. A spec is experience. So the Fed doesn't see in a well the amount of specs that came to the market in the last few years. And all the young generation, the new investors, all that money, the corona, and they came into those hope shares. But there is a product, there were flights. And there will be flights. They're showing there will be Delta. So yes, if you are an investor, and Martyn Lucas investor is for investor, it's a long time, it's a long journey. I gave myself 5 years to get 15,000 shares. By the end of last year, I was 5,000 shares. Now I'm at 10,800, and I will get the 15,000. Of course, with this price, it's more temptation. Now, investor takes a long time, so you don't do it in one all-in. You do it with consistently of buying. So yes, I've been buying since August 4, 2021, and I decided to start buy space for the reason of the excitement of the brand, of the company, of the product and the flights. Nobody have it yet. Nobody, I think, will have it. Of course, it's a small competition that was between Musk, Bezos, and Branson, which the three of them want to get into space. SpaceX now, very exciting, but still people don't go up there. So if you're looking at people, not satellites or rockets and missiles, and the only option. So it will take much longer. The Fed does not help. He wants you to survive. But I do believe everyone that fly on that company involved with the people with a lot of money. We are just the investors. Sometimes we hope to make, but if you consistently believe that the Delta will come, and it is a US company, so I do feel there will be the support and the money and the help to get this company to the Deltas to create money, because right now it's still a spec that doesn't make much, and the Eve or the Unity does not make the money. So they decided to wait for the Delta if we want to make money. So it is a long journey. We all hope that tomorrow there will be a flight, or hopefully in the next earning they're going to publish for the flight in June. But as you see, even if in June or the 12th they're going to do reverse split, I don't see nothing much till the Delta. That's where the money should make that company, if they will get it. So the question is, will they get there? And by the company shows that they will. All their X shows that they're working and progressing in the factories, but it does cost a lot of money and no money comes in. So I understand the situation. Gives us more opportunity to buy lower.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you that the stock is going to be asleep until Delta. There's no one would dispute that. I think you're absolutely right. But I feel the management aren't helping. They're not understanding that this is predominantly a retail stock-owned position. And retail investors are the ones that are buying the stock, or at least were. Now they're just selling and selling and selling. And it's all very well and good to, believe in the future, as I still do. I still believe in the product. I don't know if it's going to stay with Virgin Galactic, if it will get taken over, get private, whatever, because at the end of the day, it's all about numbers. It's not just the dream and the wonderful thing that it clearly is. It's also numbers. And when a stock gets has a reverse split, and I've looked at the statistics and the numbers, the SPACs, and like you mentioned, like 90-odd%. You bring all these things together statistically, and that's all we can do as an investor. Statistically, look at the averages, the odds, the chances, and that's how you make your educated investments. What's the likelihood? What's the risk to reward factor? The reality is, a SPAC that has reverse split, I don't know when there's ever been one that's ever survived. Now, that doesn't mean to say Virgin Galactic's not, and that somebody might go, I've got one over here. You didn't know about this one, did you? Whatever. The point is, though, under $1, when you see this stock go down and down and down, I said today it could even go to 50 cents, because now we've got the war, macro conditions, we've got to have rates up for longer. All of that is putting a lot of pressure on Virgin Galactic running out of money. Now, they do have still a decent amount of money. They're not running out of money today. We all know that. However, if rates stay up for longer and this drags out and the Boeing thing drags out for a year or two and takes money out of the pot, they have to raise funds. They can't attract new investors when the stock price is so low. Institutions don't want to buy a stock under $1. Institutions don't look at this sort of thing. Retail investors get scared, shorters start piling in, and we get a whole load of pain. Now, if you can ride that out, like clearly you are, and others like you are, and Andy Shovel said yesterday he was thinking of buying in at this level. Michael Ferrari was also looking at buying in at this level. I even said, should I buy in at 50,000 shares at this level? People are sat on the fence looking, and, suddenly everyone jump in really quickly. I mean, flipping heck, it's 318 million for a whole rocket company. I mean, it wouldn't take a few big investors and this stock fly. I am just concerned that it's so cheap considering the amount of cash on the books that it has, and still no one's buying it. At what point are they going to help themselves? At what point is the management going to do the right thing? When I spoke to Eric Kern, he says everyone's a star. We don't want to talk about, celebrities flying. It's good enough for other brands. Other brands recognize the celebrity. Look what recently happened with Levi's, the way it bounced up because of Beyonce, yeah. And we've seen Rolex and Ferrari. They all attract some attention to the eliteness of it, the excitement of it. I mean, even Ronald McDonald runs around promoting McDonald's. There's nothing to get anyone excited. And I just think if we find out, and Crag sends in that verification that, Michael Cole Glazer has been shoveling off shares to his sons and all the rest of it, it doesn't show confidence in the management. What I would like to do, I would like to come along today, and I'm going to put this out there as a suggestion, all right? Because there's some very big people listening to this show this morning. We've got some very big investors who collectively could buy this entire company today. What about me, Michael Ferrari, Andy Shovel, there's several others. We all buy the whole lot. We buy out the company. We take over the company. It wouldn't take that much to do it. We own it, right? So now we've got the company. We've got the customers ready to fly. They're ready to go. We've got their deposits. We can start to make money, right? Let's promote it properly. Let's get some celebrities flying it because they have some celebrities booked in. Let's change the way Virgin Galactic do things. Let's stop shoveling off shares to our kids. Let's stop selling our shares. Let's hold our shares, make some commitment to get behind it. Let's get the whole thing moving. There's a little thought in there.
You're right. If you tell me tomorrow there is a flight, I will drive to the middle of the desert to watch that flight. That's exciting.
Yeah.
But if you tell me that I, for 3 years, almost picking up more than 10,000 shares, and in 1 second the company give away 25, that hurts. That hurts. People does have saving and wishes with the market to make it as a future investment, and that's what it's all about. So every share, if you're one holder share or if you're a million shareholder, it doesn't matter. Those shares, we care. We care so much about. You can't give them away. You can't do that. That's something that if you tell me what's wrong, that's wrong for me 100%. That's where it hurts. You don't play with the shares. Now, if you want to run as a squeeze, and Eric said it came from a squeeze area from other stock that used to be
GameStop.
I'm not afraid of GameStop squeeze, and GameStop are still a stock. They still exist. They still have those stores, and they're working and selling. And I don't think that this year those 4 companies that came from $8 to $118, or those that came there was $20 to 92, and those squeeze are alive. They're happening. we shouldn't be afraid of it, because the same as everybody going to try to put conspiracies and corruption and bad news and drag you down, and the most will be the company itself. They don't want you. Elon Musk does it again the best way. It's not doesn't worth it. But I got to tell you that I have the same case. If you remember, about 8 months ago, I gave you a $20 tip for a 92 cents share of a stakeholder. That company that I personally started picking up those two specs, okay, 3 years ago. I have my other shares, which is again the S&P. I love to keep watching, but those two I decided, okay, those will be my two specs. So I want to get to 15,000. So I called them this morning, gave me the news I wanted to hear, because we got down to 50 cents. All right, so $10, you play with them, you go down to 50 cents, and then you get that note, and they do the 1 to 10 reverse split. So my 15,000 shares become 1,500, 1 to 10, and the share from 50 cents become $5. So I have 1,500 with $5. And this morning, about an hour ago, they revealed that the regains compliance with the NASDAQ minimum bid price requirement. So they, after the 10 days being above, again, the $5, above the dollar, now the NASDAQ release all the warning and they can keep work again. So there is life after reverse split. It's still a spec. I'm still waiting for the product, and it will come. And again, once you invest and you investigate and you know what you go with, you gotta, it's not believe, you gotta be a fan. And you can be a fan of Starbucks and Tesla and every company you open. The beautiful is we are in the USA. So the USA supply to the world. Now they supply bad things, the weapons and guns, and that's the war we have. So everything is down. There is no reason to be happy, and there is no reason to be making money, because that all gotta be solved. And when the world won't be sad world again, we're gonna be probably in a benefit of enjoying those specs, because people with great ideas and great mind deserve to be noble.
Well, I appreciate your call as always. What I'm going to do is we'll end this call in a second, but stay where you are, because I want to ask you about Israel today, if you wouldn't mind. Share your thoughts on that. But it's a difficult day. I'm frustrated seeing the stock price so low. I appreciate your commitment to it and belief in it. I still believe in the product. I think the product has proved itself. People want to fly. People want to do this. They've already queued up 850 people ready to part with their hard-earned money. That tells you everything. That's great. I just think the way it's been managed has been appalling, and we literally could take over this company. It wouldn't take that many people to buy enough shares here and to get involved. Anyway, maybe let's see, but it's going to make it more difficult. Even the reverse split, it makes it more difficult for them to raise funds. And then, of course, they want to dilute, go back to the shareholders. Shareholders isn't going to feel too good about that if you get diluted again. But if you're a long-term investor, as you clearly are, and others are, obviously, the price is holding up a bit now. It's starting to buy in. People are buying. I just would like to see people not trade it out, but hold on to it at this level. So that on that note, as we close this interview with you this morning, Zach, are you buying more today? 83 cents. Does that interest you?
I'm missing 4,200 shares to get to my 15, and today gave me a much lower price. I have a goal. They're helping me with that price, but no matter what the price would be, my goal was to get in 5 years to 15,000 shares. Once I started, that was my goal, and I will stop there no matter what. Even if the reverse split dropped me 110 to 1,500 shares, or 120 to 750, it doesn't matter. I will stick with my goal and wait for the delta. I'm not happy. I don't think Richard helped as much. I don't think, again, the management helping at all. But I do think the idea, and one of the things there is probably there, I think they're even surprised from the amount of people starting grabbing and seeing the potential of that company. And now with reverse split, I feel it with the other company that it's kind of balancing a little bit. And if there is a delta, which again, it's a long journey, this one, I'm sorry, it's a not day trading company. That's it. It's not a day trading. It's a long term. It's a journey. It's a belief that something will happen. And I'll tell you a secret, even if it's a reverse split or not, I'm probably going to sell in 100 because that's something that this company should get with the deltas and with the right plans as they talked. But all the rest is just, I will stay bullish to the 15. I'm sorry to those who are missing and losing, and it's horrible feeling. But I gotta say, believe and keep in your investigation and knowledge. And there is no doubt, we knew it's gonna drop down today. So if you would tell me 3 years ago to put now the same amount on the idea of that company, I will do as the same.
Stay right where you are, Zach, and I'll come back to you. There is Zach Zate this morning talking Virgin Galactic. You heard him. He's got a strategy, 15,000 shares. He's holding all the way. He's adding more till he gets there. He's got his plan. He's sticking to it. He believes in it. Do you believe in it? Are you still holding your shares? Are you all in with Virgin Galactic? Difficult day today, but remember, it's always worth noting. You've never lost anything until you sell at a loss. All that's happened today is people are prepared to pay less for the shares that you own. That's all. It doesn't mean they're not worth as much. It doesn't mean the company's worth less. It just means people aren't prepared to pay as much today. But of course, that can change very quickly. If things if things change at the company, then there are many things that can change that. Then suddenly everyone's piling in, wanting to have a part of it, and they're prepared to pay a lot more for the stock. Remember, the stock is going to sleep now. It will be asleep now for a period of time. Until Delta, there's no reason for the stock to pop. There's no reason at all. There's nothing to say. There's no great balance sheet. There's no good numbers, nothing. But we will cover the earnings very soon. That will be very interesting what they say on their earnings after all of this. We'll cover it live. We'll cover the flights live. We'll cover everything live and keep you updated. It's not over until the fat lady's singing. The fat lady may be standing in the wings, but she's not singing yet. Click above my head for more links down below in the description, over here and over here. Check out the video I put out last night. It's designed for information and entertainment purposes. It reflects the emotion I have and how my investors feel. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.